what advice do you wish you had as an herbal student?
I think I talked about this. It would just be a one-liner. Don't just read about the herbs. Take the herbs.
Good answer.
Take them. Not once. Not, oh, I took that in 1982 and it tasted a little bit bitter. No. I'll give the, there's a picture there that I got where I was inspired by this. You have Dr. Bastyr, John Bastyr, who I had the privilege to meet, and they named the university after him. He didn't found the university. The doctors named the university after him. And, but he was trained in the 20s as a doctor, a naturopathic doctor, and as an herbalist in the 20s. He was also a skilled homeopath, nature cure practitioner, and he had a habit that he established while he was in medical school of reading one materia medica item every night as the last thing he did before he went to bed. He'd keep materia medica by his bed, sit there and read it, fall asleep. You have to think the psychology of that. Your unconscious mind is still working on that all night long. You know, that's the last thing, your curiosity, and think, oh, it gets set into your memory better, right? And what that means is he did that for 50 years. He continued that all his life. He said, as far as I know, the recording where it was reported to me. So I like to say, I tell my students, if in 50 years you'd like to have a university named after you, right? Read a materia medica item every night before bed, right? And I put this, I have that, you mentioned, you had this course, How to Become a Master Herbalist in 30 years or more. One of the things is, read materia medica every day, right? Don't learn your 40 herbs and adopt an herbalist identity and that's it. Continue to read and reread, right? And my experience, you reread what you read 5 years ago, but you now have 5 years of context to put that into that you didn't have before. All the other evolving stuff you had, and you can raise more questions on that. So that I wish I had been told to read an herb a day, but more important is the take an herb a day, the taste an herb a day. I do believe I talked about this a minute ago, but to go to the Bastyr example, Bill Mitchell was one of the founders of Bastyr. He's a naturopathic doctor and an herbalist. And Mitchell, Bastyr kind of brought naturopathic, eclectic style herbalism into the 20th century. And Mitchell took that and developed it and brought it further. He has a very nice herbal book by Dr. Bill Mitchell. He has subsequently passed away, God rest his soul. And but he said he had a practice that when he would come into his clinic, he would go to the shelf, take a tincture off the shelf blind, not see what it was, put it in his mouth, feel its effects, and then either guess what it was or look what it was, right? And what this meant, this is your organoleptic thing. And what this isn't, oh, I tasted this one time in 1992, right? This is, I'm tasting these herbs on a regular basis, right? I'm feeling what these herbs are doing in my body, right? And that gives me a much better idea of what they're going to do in my patient's body, right? Exactly much. You have these 5 herbs are expectorants, but you taste 5 expectorants, and there might be expectorant in a little bit different way, right? And you start to really know the feeling. Oh, this one is deep and persistent. It's still doing it 3 hours later, right? And another one is just kind of quick and superficial, right? So you start to know those nuances that can't be written in a book. More about tasting. I've ever since the 80s, I've always had, as far as my healthcare providers, I've always had a Chinese-born Chinese practitioner as one of my caregivers, right? Because I appreciate that realm of medicine, and sometimes that's exactly what I need. But my kind of doctor and mentor in Boulder, his name was Pao Chin Huang, and he actually had his clinic, and he had a little school, and a clinic was 2 doors away from our school in a strip mall there. But he was born in Taiwan, and and he and his wife, master herbalists. He'd practiced for like 50 years, right? But they bought land there in Boulder County, and the land, and of course they let it grow with all the native plants. They let them all grow there. And gradually over time, he developed an understanding of the properties of all the native plants on his land from a Chinese perspective, right? And one day, we were out in front of his school, and somebody brought a plant up, and it was one of the native invasive plants. I forgot which one. It may have been Russian thistle. I'm not sure. No, it wasn't that. Okay, sorry about that. But I saw him. He looks at it, and he goes like this, and he takes it. And he just breaks a little piece of it like this. Holds it in his mouth like this. And just about this long, about 10 seconds, he says, spleen chi, like that, and went on. And you see this knowledge, this is a knowledge of herbs that you can put it in your mouth and feel what it's doing energetically. You feel the tissues it's affecting, and so on. So that's another story, tasting herbs, right? I wish I'd been told, so I'm telling you guys, read an herb a day and take an herb a day.
Hey everyone, this is Mason with HerbRally, and thanks for watching today's video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. If you didn't know, if you're new to the HerbRally community, we also list herbalism events. That's herbalism events we list chronologically as well as by state. You can find that at herbrally.com/events. And we list new, like probably 10 new events every week, so you'll probably be able to find something happening around you. We also list herbalism online events, and you can find that at herbrally.com/virtual. So you're bound to find something happening in the near future or herbalism in your neck of the woods. If you want more video content, you should be able to find a video right here in this vicinity or this one right here. So enjoy our HerbRally channel.